Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your Mega Deck for May reading. This is Mega Deck right here. It is a combination of the Good Tarot, the Sacred Shaman Oracle, and the Shaman's Dream Oracle, all by Colette Baron Reed. And these decks have already been shuffled, so I'm just not going to spend the time on video shuffling these. I know some people want to see the shuffling, but again, I have nothing to prove, so if you don't like that, I don't know, go watch someone who shuffles for 40 minutes at the beginning of the readings, right? But what I would say here is we're just going to jump right in here and see what is coming up for you in the month of May. Again, this is going to be a May bonus, basically. In your first row here, you have the Spirit of the River. It says movement towards adventure, and this is something that you've been thinking about. So I feel some of you have been thinking about going on an adventure in your life, and I feel this reading is very clearly saying you need to get started right away. This is why, right here. It's like you have these thoughts of an adventure. You have this vision quest card. I feel like you've been having these like imaginations about some sort of future, and then you go to the flow card. It's like literally saying that going on some sort of adventure or doing something new with your life, something that you've been dreaming about, is going to bring you more into flow. And that's really what I see in this reading. I also have the word, like, this is going to sound weird, but it's like popping into my head that your life is becoming cleaner because of this. That could be literally, but that could also be more like things feel more organized. Things feel more on purpose to me. And that's like what I mean by that. So there you go. You have the Two of Cups here. Definitely could be love coming in for you. It is kind of funny as well that I do feel for those of you that want love, if you've been thinking about a specific person, it's actually going to work out exactly how you imagined it, which again, that never happens in life. Like rarely in life do we think about something and it goes according to plan, right? I see something going according to plan here, but I kind of feel you need to bring it into the real world. You have this spiral card and then the Three of Swords here. And what I would say is that I kind of feel that this is saying, if you don't get moving, there could be a heartbreak. Like you might be attracted to a person who gets a lot of attention. And I kind of feel this is encouraging you to take action. The other thing that I'm getting is that you could be worried about a heartbreak here going this direction. Like maybe you've experienced a heartbreak in the past, clearly. And I kind of feel this is saying like, let the fears go of a past heartbreak, because I feel like if this is a new person, I kind of get the feeling that they actually could be breaking you out of this spiral. They could be breaking you out of like your story or whatever your story has been. You have this Dragon's Hoard. It says protecting the future. So I feel like there is something that is protected that is like being divinely guided into your life. And it's something that you are going to like cherish. I feel this is like a goal, wish, or dream is what I'm getting. I'm also getting that this could have to do with something that's like more creative. It could have to do with like music or art or some sort of creative idea that you have. So if you have any of those ideas, if you've been dreaming about doing something with one of those ideas, you have this Beloved card here. And that kind of represents something, again, that you will like nurture into existence, or, something that you will hold close to your heart. So, I feel for a lot of you, you could be really, kind of bringing something into your life that you are like that is going to be very valuable to you here with that Beloved card. So, love it. With the Spirit of the River, you have the Death card. Definitely, it's time to leave something behind as well. I mean, that says movement towards adventure. We go to that Vision Quest card. So again, it tells me you've been having these dreams, or you've been having these visions of some sort of new adventure you want to go on. And again, I always tell people an adventure could be like moving, but it could also be traveling, but it could also be, changing jobs, starting a business, learning something new is an adventure, starting a relationship is an adventure, could literally be anything. And I feel like you have to let something go from the past, I also feel like something like much, much better is coming in for you. I mean, I kind of have that feeling like, it's like sometimes I think we just think that things can't get better. Like maybe you have a job and maybe you're just like, it is what it is. Jobs are not meant to be enjoyable. They're meant to be jobs, and I have to make money. But again, I kind of feel like if you change your mindset or go on this adventure, you're going to find something that you truly enjoy, like much, much more. With the Two of Cups, you have the Four of Wands. Yep, marriage. You have the Four of Wands twice here. Four of Wands, Four of Wands. So again, if you're meeting a person, I feel that there could be definitely, this could be marriage. You have this beloved card with the Four of Wands. So, it looks to me like you could be attracting a person that you will marry. This could also represent freedom as well. The Four of Wands is a card of freedom, and with this vision quest here, it could say like whatever, if you are committing to a business or something you're working on, that could be where the freedom's coming from. With the Dragon's Hoard, it says protecting the future. You have the Five of Wands. I feel like you need to just like get started, like too much future thinking with that card as well. So, you could have some like future ideas about things that you want to create in your life, but the Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition. And I got that feeling. I said, I think I said that there could be a person who gets like a lot of attention, and that could be what you're worried about. But it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be an idea that you have. And this is like saying, get started before someone else does it, right? And I feel like you need to be number one here, Cancer. Next, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, I love this. I feel that your money could be going in a very positive direction this month. I also feel like you could actually be making more than you normally do, which is nice. This could be like a little bit of an increase in your finances. But again, I feel that this increase is going to come from this right here, the Vision Quest. I feel like you've been having visions or imaginations, or maybe you've been a little bit more daydreamy. I kind of feel like over the past few years, maybe you've been, kind of more in that daydream energy where you kind of like think about things and say to yourself, wouldn't it be nice if I had, X, Y, and Z? And it looks to me like you could be entering into a time where you're actually manifesting some of these daydreams and entering into this flow right here. I also feel like your flow state is going to be very important for you. And definitely something that's popping into my head with this flow card that, there could be some things that you should take advantage of. Like, I'll just tell you, like, every single day I do 4 readings, no matter what, right? Just to stay on my schedule. But if I feel like there are days where I do 12, there have been days where I do 16. If I am in the flow, if I'm like really feeling it, I do more work, right? And it just makes my life so much easier. So especially on days where I'm like super motivated, I just do a bunch of readings, right? And it's not hard for me to do that, but that like allows me to take days off. That allows me to, live my life and do other things other than just tarot readings. So, I feel like that flow card is saying there might be moments where you feel like doing extra work. Take advantage of it. There might be moments where you feel like doing more of something. Take advantage of it. You have the Knight of Cups here. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor. Again, you've been having like a water sign show up for you here. Could be a Scorpio, because you have the Death card there. Could be any sign, just a knight in shining armor here. I also feel like this could be some sort of dream that you have. The dream could be like love, or it could be to like start a family or something like that. But, we go up to the Four of Wands here through that spiral card. So I feel like you have to commit to something to make it happen. Commit to making this happen, whatever it is. And I feel like that will probably lead to a lot of success. The Knight of Cups also represents a dream as well. He is normally kind of like looking into that cup he's scrying, and so on a traditional Knight of Cups. So I feel for some of you, it's kind of like you could be imagining, again, a lot of imagination going on here is what I'm trying to say. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords. I really like the Eight of Pentacles with the King of Swords, especially if you're hoping to get like a raise, promotion, or if you're just trying to get a job in general. This could represent recognition from a boss, and it doesn't matter what gender your boss is, or if you don't have a boss, it doesn't matter what gender your boss will be. I feel like this could be like someone taking an interest in you in the sense that they appreciate your work, or they think you're doing a good job, and or you could be getting a job. So love it. Next, and I also, by the way, going this way, I also feel like some of you could be clearing up a legal matter if you happen to be like getting divorced or going through a legal situation. With the Vision Quest card, you have the Hangman. Again, definitely I feel the Hangman has put himself in Hangman mode. It's kind of like saying to me that you're finally ready to go on this journey or this adventure. You're finally ready to get started. He's like put himself in Hangman mode. He's basically has been making no movement. He's sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs so that he can gain enlightenment. I feel like this has been the past few years for you. Maybe you haven't been making a lot of moves, or maybe things have been slow, but it's like you've been gaining some inner answers or some clarity. And now I feel like you're ready to move forward is what this is saying. You've gained the answers. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely like a teamwork situation. I feel like if this is love, this is like a perfect team. I feel like that, if you're meeting a person, it's like you both kind of like complement each other very nicely. I feel like you both kind of have a plan as well. It sounds like a little bit nerdy to me. I don't know. Like you could be attracting a person where it's like you both kind of plan out what your roles will be or whatever, right? But I actually think if you're doing that it could work out very well for you. So, there you go. Also, by the way, I love this. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. So it can really say that you are receiving like recognition for the work that you do, probably because of the quality of the work that you do. Next, you have this Beloved card. I feel like you need to kind of like pay attention to what your heart is telling you. I mean, to me, it's true for basically everyone. I mean, Pluto and Aquarius there is a certain part of Pluto and Aquarius that I believe is encouraging us to be more heart-based. Is like saying there are things that you maybe want to do, be, or have in life that your heart is calling out to. And if you move in those directions, then you will be very successful, whatever that means for you. But if you ignore it, then you're going to have a hard time. And the problem is, as I always joke about starting a worm farm. It's like if your heart is telling you to start a worm farm and that needs to be your business, you might be thinking, how the hell can I make money doing that? But again, I always say I guarantee you there's probably a YouTube channel talking all about it that makes tons of money. So, it's like now is the time where we can be successful talking about whatever the hell we want, right? So I would just get moving. You have this spiral card as well. I do kind of get like a repetitive cycle going on here that that it's almost like the words that I'm getting here is that you're hoping that you don't repeat this cycle. It's something that you have experienced before, and we even see this here. You have the Three of Swords right here, and so I feel like some of you have healed, but at the same time, I feel that you could be thinking about past heartbreaks. And again, this does not have to be in love. This could be like a financial loss or maybe a mistake that you have made. I'm also getting the word embarrassment as well. So, maybe you've tried to do something and you felt embarrassed, but I kind of feel like this reading is encouraging you to take your power back. You have the Flow card. I get so much on this. Like, number one, I feel like I said earlier, in those moments where you're in the flow, I feel like you need to make sure to like double down on your work like I do. I do extra work on the days where I really feel motivated. And if I don't, I don't. It's just that simple. But I also feel that some of you, again, you could be starting this like exciting new adventure here. And you're like in the flow. I feel like that, I'm pretty sure I say this to you a lot. It's almost like, again, I'm not suggesting that things are going to be super easy. And I think it's ridiculous to think that life is easy in the first place. It's not meant to be easy. But what I would say is there's like a flow. So it's like if you are going on an adventure to start a business, maybe it's not perfect, but I feel like it works. It's like going in the right direction. And so there's a certain flow to it. It just feels better than maybe what you've experienced in the past. Same thing with love or whatever else it is that you're working on. With the Beloved card there, you have the Chariot. Your card definitely showing up in a very strong position. It's time for you to win. Those are like the words I'm getting here, Cancer. It's like it's time for you to win. It's time for you to step into your power. Time for you to kind of like gain success. Part of me wonders sometimes, like with Saturn and Pisces, even though it's not in your sign, it doesn't matter. Like whenever a planet is in like a water sign, it's going to affect you more than everybody else. So, I feel for some of you that Saturn and Pisces energy could be really getting you moving. It could be getting you building momentum or kind of like speeding things up is really what I'm getting here. With the spiral, you have the Four of Swords. Again, I like, here's the thing, is that I would recover from any heartbreaks that you've been through. So if you're not fully recovered, then I would do whatever you have to do to recover. The other thing is I kind of feel like this is saying that maybe you're worried about something that's actually going to be a blessing. The Four of Swords, normally there's like a person who's blessing another person in the stained glass window that's on the Four of Swords. So I feel like you could be actually receiving a blessing here. With the Flow card, you have the Five of Cups. Yes, I feel like you need to ignore things that just aren't working. Again, some of you could be holding on to something that you've really lost your taste for. I always say that the true meaning of the Five of Cups is that the guy is crying over spilt wine. If you look at those cups, the wine is spilling out, and it represents the fact that he's lost his taste for something that he once enjoyed. So it's like he's sad over something that he doesn't even like anymore, and he doesn't realize that there's something new behind him. So something new that he can be grateful for, and I always say he gets the bridge and the castle. So, I feel for a lot of you, this is about being grateful for the things you have. In your last row here, you have the Four of Wands. Some of you literally could be charging towards marriage. We have the Chariot to the Four of Wands. So if you're looking for love, definitely looks pretty good to me. If you're looking for any type of commitment as well, I feel like this is very good. Like you could be committing to a new job, a new business idea. It could be any of those things or multiple. And I feel like it's leading to a celebration. You have the Three of Swords here, and again, I kind of feel this is about needing to heal something. Very interesting. There are two birds right here. It's going to be maybe hard to see on this card, but there's two. I don't know if you can actually see both of them, but there are two birds right above my finger there. And, I feel like some of you are maybe turning your back, but both birds, like one's black, one's white. I'm wondering if and then, by the way, I just noticed this. There's a bird kind of like on her wing right here. So it's almost like you could be walking away from something where the two of you were just too different, and it's like she's blue, this other bird is blue. It's almost like you're attracting someone who is much more similar to you, or I'm not saying you have to be exactly the same. I actually think it's much better to date someone who's different than you because then you never get bored. Like if you're dating someone who's exactly like you, pretty boring, right? It can get boring fast. Not always true, I'm sure, but still. So again, I feel that energy here where it's like you could be attracting a person where it's like you're very similar, or maybe you just have similar beliefs, or maybe there aren't so many differences. Like maybe, again, sometimes I think we get into relationships with a person, like maybe you want children and they don't, right? It's like, that's never going to work because, I've seen it happen a million times where people are like, I want children. The other person's like, I don't want children. And they, like that person thinks, oh, I can change them. It's like, no, you pretty much can't change anyone. So you might as well look for something that already exists that, I believe there are plenty of people who want to have children, for example, or plenty of people who don't want to have children if you don't. So, don't try to change people. That's what that is saying. And I feel like there's someone coming in who's like perfect for you if you want love. This Tidy House card says clarity and organization. I think I said it at the beginning of your reading. It seems to me like things are more clean, like in your life. I feel like things are just working in the right direction. Things are actually working out for you, which is nice. With the Four of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. Definitely having to let this go. Like whatever this is, Ten of Swords is something that's dead, done, over with. Ten of Swords, he's making a symbol with his hands as well on a traditional Ten of Swords that represents a blessing. There's definitely something about release here, or needing to release something from the past. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be an idea that didn't work or whatever, something that's just been a round and round situation. With the Three of Swords, you have the High Priestess. Definitely need to trust your intuition here. So, I would trust your intuition. I would also say that I feel like you need to realize how much potential you have. She has no roof over her head on a traditional High Priestess, and it kind of represents the fact that she has unlimited potential. There's no limits to what she can create, and I feel like you need to believe that. With the Tidy House card, you have the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're very attractive at this time. I feel like you need to be bold and assertive. Queen of Wands, she kind of like learns as she goes. She's not afraid to enter into situations where she doesn't have all the answers. It's like, one thing I learned in life is like nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what they're doing. Like nobody has a clue how to be an adult, right? Which is perfectly fine. It's like, so don't think that you need to know all the answers. Just move towards your heart, that beloved card. Move towards whatever your heart is telling you to do. It's kind of like what I'm getting here. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this Enterprise card. I definitely get like a business feeling here, 8 of Pentacles. So, for those of you that have a business or side hustle, clearly there's going to be a lot more success for you. We have Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter actually will be moving into Taurus, but, what I will say is it doesn't matter. Jupiter's going to retrograde back into Aries and, later on in the year, and then it'll stay in there for a couple months and it's going to leave, of course, and officially move into Taurus. But it doesn't matter. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity in work or business for you. I kind of feel like promotion, it's like how you promote yourself is what's popping into my head here. So if you have a side hustle or business, I feel like you need to promote yourself more. This could be like through social media or through, something. I would like learn something new. And again, I always tell people there are so many things I've learned for free on YouTube videos that it's crazy, that have like made huge impacts on my business. So it's like there's plenty of social media teachers out there that teach stuff for free. It's like, yeah, do they have courses? Yes, but you don't have to buy them. They teach plenty of stuff for free that has helped me. It's like worked for me. So again, this doesn't have to cost money. You have this order card. You're definitely bringing order to something. It's funny that I said that at the beginning of the reading. It's almost like you're cleaning up your life, or things are more clean. Next, you have this achievement card. Love it. Definitely a lot of achievements coming in for you at this time. Chariot, Eight of Pentacles, really good cards for accomplishing things. So keep pushing forward here. Next, you have the discrimination card. This is a card of discernment. It's not like discrimination like we think of it. It's just a card of being able to look at a situation and say, this is right, this is wrong. Or being able to tell, like if it's a person, for example, like being able to tell, oh, this person doesn't know how to give equally, so I'm out of here, right? So being able to tell the difference between situations that like improve your life and ones that don't. And I would pay attention to that. And finally, you have this extremism card. I would be careful of anyone who is like all this side or that side. Here's the other thing as well, is like, I think that it's better to like find a person. No one is perfect, right? But I feel like it's better to find a person right now, if you're looking for love especially, who is willing to admit to their mistakes, or who's willing to apologize. Like, there's a novel concept, right? Because it's kind of like what's popping into my head, and especially with the astrology, Neptune's going to be moving into Aries in 2026, and I know that's a few years away, but it doesn't matter. We're getting closer and closer to that energy. So, that Neptune and Pisces, I think, I've said it before, that it could kind of bring out some extreme energies where people are looking for a savior, or people might be all one side or all this side, right? And on like any issue, any problem, anything going on in the relationship, right? But I think it's better to find a person where even if they have extreme moments where they kind of fly off and go in one direction, if they can come back to center, that's probably a much better person who's like at least rational, who maybe they go off and are able to say, oh, I'm being irrational, I need to come back to center, right? So, it's like we all have opinions and ideas. I actually don't think it's attractive to be with a person who's just like sitting on a fence in the middle. So I think it's better to have a person who's like one side or the other on whatever the hell they believe. Who cares, right? Whatever you're into, right? But, I think it's much better to have a person who has a backbone and an opinion. And but again, I also think it's good to have a person who can kind of like come back to center. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. That's what I'm getting there. There you go. I'm going to end that there. Enough rambling. Thank you for being here, Cancer. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your May.